Hello friends, I am Brijesh Jyoti Upadhyay. I got 112th rank this year. This was my 5th attempt and 3rd interview, and I never expected that I would get this rank. So I want to start from a sentence that in UPSC, until UPSC makes you totally hopeless, extremely disappointed and whatnot, then it gives you the surprise. So I want to say that you need to put your effort, whatever situation are you in, whatever this is your attempt, whatever may be your previous result, never get demotivated. I started the preparation after 3 years of job in a software engineering company, and I basically come from a middle class background and from very small district. It is Basti district in eastern Uttar Pradesh. So for me it was very tough decision to leave the job and start the preparation. But it was genuinely my childhood dream to become a civil servant. You could have guessed easily that from eastern Uttar Pradesh it is everyone's desire to be an IAS officer. So when I left my job and started the preparation, in the first attempt I skipped the optional in mains exam because I was not prepared. I just gave the exam due to CSAT. I was lured into in the attempt because I knew that I would do well in CSAT. In the second attempt, in the first mains, I scored good in essay and ethics, and I didn't know anything about the syllabus. So it gave me the confidence that yeah, next year I could easily make it into good rank. What happens in 2015, I got very nervous, I had very much anxiety, I wasn't able to sleep properly, and thus I started to taking some pills as suggested by doctor. But it was really harmful for me, and I missed the prelim by 2 marks because some effect of the medicine on my dopamine level, you can say. When I failed in 2015, I was like totally devastated because the whole year got wasted. But one of my friends said that you have now 15 months. So this message is very important for someone who failed prelims. That when you fail prelims, it is the best opportunity to succeed in the next attempt, and very excellently. You can see Anudeep's last year's topper. When he got very low marks, he skipped the mains prelim that year, and then he prepared for the next year, means he had ample time. So this message was the one who failed prelims. Then I started my preparation seriously in late half of 2015 for the next mains. I cleared prelim, cleared mains, but I still was short of 20 marks. Next year happened the same story. I just want to add something. In 2016 attempt, I got good marks in geography. I became overconfident. I never studied for geography in 2017. I was very casual. I thought without studying I am getting like 270. Why should I study? And I focus more on GS. I improved GS heavily in 2017, got 450, but it was geography where I failed. I got just 239 marks. Now, when I saw the 2017 mark sheet, this is important for someone who is right now analyzing his mark sheet because the mark sheet released yesterday. When I saw the mark sheet, I instantly knew what I had to do. I had very poor marks in geography, and I thought this is the thing. If I improve geography, I will surely succeed. Then I really put a lot of effort after seeing the mark sheet in the geography optional, and together with I was improving my GS. I want to tell one thing: the failures make me learn. In the first attempt, in the first mains, in the 2016 mains, when I saw the mark sheet, I thought that I need to improve GS. I improved GS. I got 450 in 2017 mains, but I missed focusing on geography. But when I saw the 2017 mark sheet, I realized my mistake, that I focused on GS but totally neglected geography. After seeing 2 mark sheet, one would be fool if he doesn't learn from these failures. So I learned from these failures, and this time I worked heavily on GS and geography, and fortunately I have quite high score this time in GS. I am around 449 marks in GS and kind of very high in GS 1 and 4. And also I improved in geography and got 286 marks in geography. I want to tell you something about how to score heavily in GS. One of the most important aspects of scoring high is that you have to write what the question has asked. I see candidates, I see friends who read notes, who read topics from internet, from classes, and they think that they have to replicate this onto their answer copy. But no, the GS questions ask something else. You cannot directly use your knowledge base in the answer space. What you have to do is you have to understand the question, what the question is asking. Then you have to totally reorient your knowledge so that you answer the question perfectly. When I used to write my GS answers, after 10-15 words or lines, I always see the question and always think that I have to write what the question has asked. So this is the first tip for scoring good in GS. Second is that you have to be somehow innovative. Means if you copy paste same thing you have studied in your magazines, everyone will write same. For example, they are asking a very clear question about citizens charter. Everyone has read citizens charters. Everyone will write same, I think, if you have studied from some notes. But you have to have some attachment with that topic, and you have to write like a layman is explaining to the examiner. Means you have to put more emotions, more thoughts in your answers. You have to be innovative, creative. So the thing is that you have to understand the question well. You have to write answers which shows that you have comprehensive knowledge about the questions, and then you have to suggest something which really attracts the attention of the paper checker, right? So like in conclusion, you could write something like the citizen charters should be in vernacular language, or something like it should be visible to public, because you might have been going to post offices, you never see the citizen charters, so what is the use? So you have to attach with that question and then write what you feel about. Be innovative, be creative in your answer writing. I want to say something to those who get failure in mains or not getting in final list. This is for someone who is really disappointed. I know many friends. There are many of my friends who sometimes score cutoff plus 50-60 marks in mains and give interview but fails. Next year they fail prelim. Next year again cutoff plus 60 marks, fail in interview. So I want to say that the journey of UPSC is hard. It is tough. No one is gifted enough. And I want to say one thing very honestly, never believe that someone could crack this exam in like 5 or 6 months or 1 year. It really takes effort to clear this exam, because one can clear this exam in first attempt, but you cannot compare his 1 year of effort with your 1 year of effort. Because the foundation, if someone is reading newspaper from class 6, you cannot compare with yourself. If someone has those subjects in their graduations, they have like done BSc honors and MSc honors in that subject and then took 1 year to clear the exam, you cannot compare with that. So I am saying this to motivate those who have failed year after year, because really it is one of the toughest exams. So you have to do exceptionally well to clear this exam, and this is applicable both in the prelims, in mains, and even the PT round. Things like what sources to read, how to read, and what newspapers to follow, what materials to follow. This question, many candidates ask these questions. For the book list, you could see any topper's blog, you will get a brilliant list of books, and I think 99% people follow that. So I would like to say that it is not the books which matter, it is not the source that matters, it is your comprehension of that source, your applicability of that knowledge. I would like to share some interesting things that whenever I read some op-ed articles in The Hindu or Indian Express, I make sure that I will use some interesting things of that article in my answers. That's the thing. You can read newspapers for like 6 hours a day, but what is the use of it if you don't use those knowledge in your answers? So in one line, I could say the success of my high score in GS is that I use whatever I have read in my answers. Anyway, means it happens unconsciously. I do not stress on my mind to recall that article, but read something so well that it gets entrenched in your mind. Second thing I would like to say that for current affairs, never waste more than 1.5 hours on newspapers. Never. You have current affair magazines, right? Vision has PT 365. GS Score now has brilliant compilation of that current affair, annual current affair magazines. And you could also have other magazines. You read those magazines and then use them, because wasting time on newspaper making notes it's like obsolete method. I'm really honest. If you read a newspaper, make notes, it will take 3 hours minimum. You have these excellent materials available on the market, on internet, everywhere. You use those. And see, one more thing. Now coachings are providing free videos too. So you can watch this. What I'm saying that do not invest too much time on reading a newspaper. For me, I read the op-ed articles, the 2 pages, the lead, comment, and those articles very comprehensively. I invest my energy on those, because that's the thing I will going to use in my answers. For rest thing, you open the international page, you open the national page, you open the polity page. Those things are never gonna asked in prelims as such, because they do not have the supplementary information. Like you see in PT 365, there are boxes, right? Those gonna be asked in GS Scores magazine. You see there are tidbits of information and some background information of that topic that's gonna be asked. So don't waste too much time on newspaper. Read just good articles of op-ed and try to use them in your answers. Second thing is that you would like to ask how I improved my geography marks. I had 239. I had 269 in 2016 mains. Then I did just early and I got 239 in 2017 because I said that I neglected geography. But then I improved it to 86. So the secret behind this is that, and listen this carefully, the secret is that I didn't blame my optional. I never blamed my optional. I blamed for the first week. I blamed UPSC for the first week, because how could this happen that my score got dropped from 270 to 239 in next year, even though I have read. But believe me, UPSC is not a black box. The fault lies within you. There are many good candidates over you who have scored better marks. So see where is the fault. And when I realized, I read a topper's blog, the Pratham Kaushik's blogs in geography, and I thought that was the aha moment. I realized that no, this optional requires much more effort that I have been giving. And from that moment, I started putting more effort on geography. And believe me, it is not the diagram as such, not the map as such, not the makeups of the answer as such, but it is the content which matters in GS, in geography, in essay, everywhere. So when you score less marks, you might be analyzing your mark sheet this week. When you score less mark in some papers, do not blame UPSC, Do not think that you didn't draw maps, diagrams, etc., etc. Because see, I have consistently scored 450 both in 2017 and 18. In 2016, I had like 410 marks. So what I'm saying, I never use makeups in my answers, but still I am scoring consistently. So I want to say that forget about makeups first. Makeups may help. They will increase your mark by 4 or 5 marks, definitely. Definitely, structure will help in improving marks by 5 marks. But if you do not have content, then it is really waste. So build on your content in GS. Building your content in GS means you have to read some good sources. For example, I have read ARC reports, even the summary which is provided by various coachings in free. Even GS SCORE website has nice summary of this. Other coachings also have nice summary. Economic survey, you have to read those reports. I have also read many other reports, like I have read 5-year planning, the 12th 5-year plan commission, the Niti Aayog report, and Panchi commission. I have read many reports, and maybe that might be the reason for my high score in GS. But I am saying that if you have to do exceptionally well in GS, you have to build your content base. You have to understand the topics well. You have to put more effort in your answers so that it looks like that your answer is hitting the question well. Don't beat around the bush. The examiner is very sharp. They read every single word what you have written in your answer. One last thing I would like to say that never be disappointed in this journey. You will, my friends who have just saw their mark sheet, they might be in very, very disappointed condition. But what I want to convey is that learn from your mistakes. That mark sheet, that should hit you in your heart. If you have less score in some subject, you should not forget about that. Don't be disappointed, but don't take revenge. Take revenge of that subject. If you have scored less in GS1, take it as a challenge and show the examiner that now, see, if I have like 80 mark in GS1, I will definitely get 110 in next year. So get inspired by your failures, right? We have to do that because this journey is really hard and you will get failure. Indeed, someone who has not cleared prelim for 3 times in a row will think that clearing prelim is the most important thing of his life. Someone who has never cleared mains will think that clearing mains. Someone who never got on the list. See, everyone is disappointed, everyone is working hard, and there is so much competition. So what I want to say that never get disappointed, learn by your mistakes. And one tips like thing that solve previous year papers. In prelims it is must. Solve like 10 times. Solve various test series questions if you have built your base. It's not like you are going to, you wake up, you want to prepare for IAS and opening test series. No, you first build your base, first build your content, then solve questions. Questions is the last step, but solving questions is must. In mains too, you have to write tests. You have to know where are you lacking. See, there will be many toppers who never wrote test and got brilliant ranks, but that may be exception, because personally I believe that in life, in every task, in every goal which you want to achieve, if you have done some mock practice, you will do very well. In anything, in life, anything. For example, it is my first interaction in front of camera. I'm not doing very well, I know that. But had I done this like 5-6 times before coming here, I would have really spoken good things. I don't know how coherent I am speaking because I have not done practice. So I'm giving just example. You are going to write mains that's going to define your next 30-40 years. Why not take a practice? Why not do some writing text? See how are you doing? Why do you want to write like 3,500 words in 3 hours? for the first time, you will fail definitely. Either write on home, or join some test series, but practicing is important. Same is for the personality test. See, there might be exceptions, I really accept that, but for majority, it's essential to give mocks either in prelim, in test, or even in interview. For any other queries, I will ask the members to have some links, so that if I have missed something, if you want to know something else, you can contact through the GSE score, and I would be happy to share more of my experience. I want to say that it was my 5th attempt and it was 3rd PT, so that you have, you know that I am experienced in this field, and I am sharing what I believe personally. Thank you.